when Drew McIntyre loses the WWE Championship, I will personally play a role in that outcome.
Now, the aim of WWE is to tell compelling stories with their superstars, and sometimes there are deeper meanings to the elements that make up these stories. Over the years, certain superstars have included little details to their character which has involved a subtle yet smart hidden message. This message can come in several forms. A superstar may wear an attire which is a direct reference to something that's occurred in their or their respective opponents' careers, or sometimes a superstar can reference a future character in a promo that wouldn't debut for a number of years. So join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 7 hidden subliminal messages in WWE. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists.
He was as pale as a pearl. He had thin yellow hairs. His eyes were yellow like a cat.
Number 7. Triple H's My Time theme mentions Kevin Dunn. In 1999, WWE would reposition Triple H as a main event talent. He would adapt a new, much meaner persona, and along with a new attitude would come a new theme music. Just before the 1999 King of the Ring pay-per-view, Triple H would debut the My Time theme, and it would become one of the most popular theme songs of all time. Interestingly, the theme had an indirect reference to the head of WWE's production team, Kevin Dunn. And one of the lines in the song states,
"Yeah, you let the music keep playing, Mr. Dunn."
Now this is a reference to Dunn, as Dumb obviously sounds just like Dunn. This was one of the first occasions where Dunn had been mentioned in WWE in any capacity, and it actually took a few years for WWE fans to catch on to what that particular line of My Time was referencing. The theme, and in particular the line about Dunn, was actually incredibly appropriate, as it also referenced Triple H's past. Referencing Dunn in a negative manner was in line with the attitude of DX, the stable that Triple H previously led. Number 6. Subliminal Fiend messages. In 2019, The Fiend became one of the WWE's biggest stars, and as a result, both Fox and the USA Network wanted the former WWE champion to be made exclusive to their show in the 2019 draft. Interestingly, subtle messages of The Fiend were shown not just on Raw and SmackDown, but also other Fox and USA Network shows and properties. Fox would even put images of The Fiend on the screen during major games of American football, which was unheard of. This was a great marketing technique, and one which led to a lot of intrigue as to where The Fiend would end up in the upcoming draft. As we all know, The Fiend actually ended up on SmackDown, a move which allegedly upset the USA Network. The network ultimately believed that The Fiend should be featured exclusively on WWE's flagship show, that being Monday Night Raw. Number 5. Gangrels Theme. A Gangrel was one of the most popular characters of the WWE's Attitude Era. And one of the things that made the human vampire stand out, outside of the outlandish gimmick, was his theme song. His theme song, simply titled The Brood, is without question one of the greatest theme songs WWE have ever produced. Notwithstanding how awesome the theme song is, there's actually a deeper meaning to the song that was only recently revealed. According to Gangrel himself, if you play the song backwards, there's a secret message relating to the popular band The Beatles. Gangrel would reveal in an interview with Chris Van Vliet that if he had the right skills and technology to play it backwards, the guy who did the music, Jim Johnston, was a big Beatles fan. So it says, "I bury Paul, walk with me." Yeah, it actually does. Number 4. Bray Wyatt's 2015 promos. In 2019, Bray Wyatt took to Twitter to reveal that there were hidden messages in his promos back in 2015. He would state, "Fun game time. Bet you didn't know that in 2015 I did 8 consecutive backstage promos where one sentence didn't belong in each of them, but together they make up a secret message. No one ever found it. You guys never look hard enough. First one to get it wins a prize." This sent fans into a frenzy trying to work out what the hidden message could be. Unfortunately, no fan managed to unravel the hidden message, meaning Bray would ultimately reveal it himself. "What makes you smile? I know you're listening. Let me in. We don't belong here. What happened to you was such a tragedy. Limbo is no place for a soul like yours. I believe I found the answer. The angel with the burnt wings is waving you on home. Although still incredibly confusing, fans believe that Bray was directly referencing the Fiend character, which would debut a number of years later, especially when it comes to the line, as this would be the Fiend's catchphrase. Number 3, The Undertaker's ministry theme. Towards the end of 1998, WWE would begin to alter The Undertaker's character to make him look darker than ever. The Undertaker alongside Paul Bearer would form the Ministry of Darkness, a stable which consisted of the Brood, the Acolytes, Midian and Viscera. The storyline as WWE went into 1999 was that the man behind the character The Undertaker, Mark Calaway, actually began to believe that The Undertaker was a real character and that Mark Calaway was actually the Lord of Darkness. Now, as part of this new darker persona, The Undertaker would also debut a new theme song, which involved him speaking in Latin. When you translate the lyrics of The Undertaker's ministry theme, there's actually a lot of substance in the lyrics. When the lyrics are translated, The Undertaker says,
"Accept the Lord of Darkness as your savior. Allow the purity of evil to guide you."
This is an awesome little detail, which makes one of the best theme songs of the Attitude Era even better. Number 2, Aleister Black's promos. Now, the release of Aleister Black in June of 2021 shocked the wrestling world, as Black was one of the WWE's most talented superstars, and he was in the middle of a career resurgence on SmackDown before his unfortunate release. Taking to Twitch following its release, Black shared some fascinating insight into his early main roster promos and a hidden detail that was in them. Black revealed, "One of the things I actually did with the Room promos, I don't know if you ever noticed, I didn't have a lot of control over those. I was just new on the main roster. One of the things I could have control over was certain words. The idea that Aleister had like this small ability to look into the future. He had like precognitive abilities, so I would use my opponent's ring gear, their colors in my background. So when I wrestled the Singh brothers, I had pink in the background. And I think with Buddy Murphy, I had like white and goldish or yellowish light in the background. So that would hint at my next opponents. And I did all these, when I sat in the ring and I said I feel like a caged animal, that was hinting at me and Eric Rowan, because he was walking around with that caged animal." And number 1, Stone Cold's OMR vest. The WrestleMania 19 was notable for a number of things, but most notably without a doubt was the match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. This match would act as the last match in the legendary career of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and there wasn't any better way for the former WWE champion to go out than in a match against his arch nemesis, The Rock. Going into the match, Austin didn't let too many people know that the match with The Rock would be his last ever, because he wanted to keep it as private as possible. To mark the occasion, Austin would have OMR printed on his iconic vest. This would stand for one more round, which was quite literally Austin's mindset heading into the showdown with The Rock. Austin's neck was in so much pain that he simply couldn't wrestle anymore, and following the match, he would be repositioned into a non-wrestling role. But there you have it, folks, 7 subliminal messages in WWE. Are there any more? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.